Well, you guys saw there, I was watching some of this whole Sammy Sosa debacle, I guess. The whole thing if he took performance-enhancing drugs. ESPN just did a story on him, I guess specifically E60, and it was crazy to see. During the week, I listen to Chicago radio a lot, I guess just like on the TuneIn app, and ESPN 1000, they had Marc Silverman on talking with Tom Waddle, do the local show 2 to 6 p.m. in Central Time. When they were doing their transition from the show before to theirs, it's Carman and Yurko, Marc, Carman, and then John Yurkovich, but John Yurkovich wasn't in that day. It was Fred Hubener, and so all four of them were talking about it, and Marc Silverman, he gave a little hint that he was brought up in the documentary that they did, or the feature, and he gave a quick little soundbite. A good point he made during their exchange is that do Cubs fans really want to know if Sammy took steroids, and if he did, so what? It's all over now. And also a big pressing question was, I guess, in Chicago is, do they want him to apologize, to say sorry? Because I guess if he does, then he's welcome back at Wrigley, because right now he's not welcome there. Honestly, I think if he does apologize, maybe it does get him there. I don't know for certain, but I do know is that Cubs fans have moved on from him. Once that World Series came, once Theo Epstein came, it was on to a whole new era. It was past the Jim Hendry era, past the Dusty Baker era, all the other previous coaches there in the 90s and early 2000s when Sammy was there. And so if Sammy apologizes or if he doesn't, I don't think it matters. And I think Cubs fans just acknowledge that when Sammy was there in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was just a fun time to go to the Wrigley and just watch him hit all those home runs. I myself was too young at the time, born in 94, so that 98 season I was 4, not like I was avidly watching TV. So I remember when I was in like 6th, 7th grade and I had Sunday school just finishing up, and some of my classmates were talking about the Curt Schilling bloody sock game.
But like a scene from The Natural, Schilling climbs the mound and prepares to take on this Yankee lineup.
Yeah, the Curt Schilling bloody sock game was in 2004. So 2004, we were 10 years old, and there were dudes saying that they remember that stuff vividly. The only thing I remember when I was 10 years old is that I wasn't really big into vegetables, but now I like them. Point being, I couldn't really remember about Sammy stuff. So me personally, I love the story. I'm always into these documentaries. The whole feature ESPN did with Jeremy Schaap interviewing Sammy was great. It was a point where he did leave, but they got him to come back on, and he just talked about life after baseball, which was kind of cool to see. And also Jeremy Schaap interviewed him in 1998 when him and Marc McGwire had that whole chase for home run history, which Marc ended up winning, but Sammy ended up getting the MVP that year. It was just a great, fascinating story, and definitely important in the history of baseball. Sammy said he's never swung a bat since that 2007 season, his last year playing in the majors. It was with the Rangers.
Driving that one right center field. That ball taking off, and Sosa has hit out another one.
I don't think it matters that he didn't apologize, and I don't think it matters that he didn't admit, because he never said on camera. Jeremy kept trying to get him to deny it, but he never denied it. Sammy just said he kept taking all the tests, like he never missed a test, and he also never tested positive on a test. But then the New York Times released, it was a report like 10 years ago or something, where all these big name players were linked to testing positive for a banned substance with like HGH or steroids, something like that. Yeah, Sammy wouldn't touch upon that. He would just say he never tested, or he never missed a test, and he never admitted to testing positive. So which means he obviously did, because he was just dancing around the question. Sammy Sosa did take steroids, or HGH, one of those banned substances for performance enhancing. Because I guess he spent 9 years in the majors without putting up these huge numbers, but then once he turned 29, so he was in the majors at year 20. That's crazy, when he was 20 years old. He took steroids. He didn't apologize, and he probably won't for what he did to Cubs fans, because I mean, it's his life, it doesn't matter. Cubs fans moved on anyway, it's not like that's a big deal. He said his skin tone is because of the lotion he puts on his face. He said he just loves it and makes him feel younger. These professional athletes, once they go through the whole media circus or whatever, and everything that happens with professional sports, they talk a certain way. I've learned from talking to certain athletes from Penny Hardaway to some other basketball players as well. I haven't really talked to football or baseball players. They know how to work the media, and they want to put themselves out in a way that they want themselves to be seen more so than how they really are. Like, they want to have a perception of themselves to look like a better person they are. And there are great people out there where like they are genuinely themselves, but some people just want to phrase stuff in a certain way so the media doesn't twist it in a negative way. So Sammy wanted to make sure he left that interview with Jeremy Schaap feeling like he said the right thing and that he put out a good image for people to see. Because also off camera when he left and then when he came back on, he apologized to Jeremy and said, it's just like two friends having a misunderstanding, and Jeremy obviously agreed. He's like, yeah, it's all good, we're all good. Because they've obviously known each other for some time, and that was just cool to see. So honestly, after that whole E60 piece I saw, I don't think Sammy owes it to Cubs fans or anything like that, just because they bought his jersey, they bought shirts related to him, they bought hats related to him. Every time you go outside like stadiums, I know especially Wrigley Field, there's people that sell like the knockoff stuff, and they were showing people with like knockoff Sammy Sosa hats, so that was just cool to see. And of course, just tickets to the game. I don't think he owes anything to Cubs fans in that sense, and he's out living his own life now, raising his family with his wife. Yeah, that's all it is. So Sammy, you just keep doing you, man. And ESPN with another great feature on it. I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, why would I care about this? But Jeremy Schaap and that whole crew made me care about that feature. It was awesome to see. Oh, forgot to mention, leave a like and subscribe for more content. We're gonna have some daily content dropping. Yes, I said it. Daily content. Somehow, some way, I might disappoint you with these daily videos, but they're gonna be daily.